No one's coming to save you. I want you to think about that. If you make a bad decision on buying a vehicle, new or used, and you lose your butt, no one's coming to save you. I got inspired, guys, by a video. If you've ever watched Hitchcock 45, old school guy, and he did a video yesterday talking about this outside the scope of what he does. And he's just talking and trying to help people. That's what we do here at CTech. We're just trying to help you guys and look at the analytics in the market so you can maximize the dollars you have in your pocket. And that's why I want you guys to be educated and do your homework. And that's what today's video is about, the trends I'm seeing. What's up, guys? Barry at CTech-review. We are continuing to see more craziness in the automotive industry. And right now, what we're tracking are affordability indexes for new and used vehicles. And I continue to scratch my head because this just doesn't make sense. You guys have probably seen a lot of doom and gloom information across YouTube and other platforms for the past 4 or 5 years. The prices are going to drop 20, 30, 40, 50%. It's Armageddon, doom and gloom, lot rot, all of this, right? This is what we're told. Prices are going to drop. We continue to see something weird going on. If we look at how 2025 ended, I'm scratching my head. I don't get this. We are seeing some things come down and other things continuing to go up. And what does this tell us about the automotive industry? And what are you supposed to do with this? Let's get into this. All right, so today is all things General Motors. So we're going to start with GM. Hang tight for the Ford and Ram people. I just want to show you guys the baddest car General Motors has ever made. Is it affordable? Not remotely. This is the new ZR1X Corvette 3LZ all-wheel drive package. Specs coming out on this thing is absolutely nuts. Quarter miles, 860, Nuremberg ring times, everything about this thing is insane. This thing is already, dealers are already selling these things for $600,000 and more dollars. Look at this, guys. This is MSRP. It's a world beater. It's bad to the bone. Now ask yourself, who's buying these things? Okay, there's big demand for vehicles like this, not specifically the standard C8 Corvette, or even the Z06 as much anymore. It's the ZR1 and the ZR1X because it's the hottest thing out. And this is where we're seeing some weird anomalies. If we go over to Cox Automotive, they're tracking right now, used vehicle retail sales are climbing in December. This is defying the seasonal slowdown. You typically see a slowdown in the month of December. This has been standard for a long time. This right here, guys, is a curve that basically talks about the vehicles sold through the different months, 12 months of the year. And they're comparing 2022 to 2025, all 12 months of the year tracked year over year for 4 years. And this is what I'm looking at right here. Let's look at this blue curve. How does the blue curve compare to even all the way back to 2022? You can see 2022 retail sales volume was down, but check this out, guys. See this? We saw this once before in 2022. We saw an incline from November to December, but check out this right here. Now, is this a big deal? No, but we want to keep our eyes on this because as the volume is going up, what does this mean for new car prices and used car prices? If we look at the days of supply, right now, the most recent report was 49 days. It's 1 day compared to the same time last year in down 1 day from November. It's only 1 day, right? It's 1 day. But the point is it's going down. Why would it be going down? Well, I've got my theories on this right here. Look at the prices of new vehicles. We're gonna a little bit pick on GMC for a minute. It's a very premium General Motors brand, I would call it. But look at some of their numbers here they just reported. According to some data through Kelley Blue Book, they said the average transaction price for December of 2025 came in at $67,196. $67,000. Why is that number important? Let's compare this to the average transaction price of every vehicle sold across the United States, US broader market, $50,325. So if the average vehicle price is $50,000 and the GMC price is $67,000, That's approximately 30% higher than the average transaction price. Once again, why is this important? Well, number one, the fact that $50,000 is the average price and the automotive market sold almost 16 million vehicles. That means there's probably going to be some vehicles sold in the $35,000 range, and there's going to be a lot of vehicles sold in that 60, 70, 80, 100,000 vehicle range. But this shift we're seeing in the market right now, it is not centered. We are seeing a big shift towards more expensive and premium vehicles. And I'm going to show you this across the whole market. If we look at the used vehicle inventory volume, check out this curve. Here, once again, 2022 versus 2026. If we look as far as an inventory curve, 2024 was probably a better year for less vehicles available. Once again, why is this important? The less used vehicles are out there, there means there's a higher price for the used vehicles that are out there. So if you're going to trade your vehicle in or sell outright, your value is going to be higher. If we look at these volumes, they always typically creep up in the end of the year because there's less selling going on. So you're going to see less vehicles bought. But do you guys notice here, this trend right here? Look at this light gray. 2022, there was a huge demand. We're coming out of COVID and people are wanting vehicles and people are buying used because there wasn't a lot of new. Prices are going up. As this curve goes down, prices go up. As this curve goes up, prices go down. Here's where we start seeing a little bit of what's going on. The Cadillac Escalade, one of the most expensive SUVs out there. What are the offers in January of 2026? They're currently non-existent for the 2026 Cadillac for both regular and ESV, including the V Series and the non-V Series. There remains no cash purchase, financing, or leasing deals on this SUV. The only thing you can get is if you're a first responder, military educator, $500, $1,000 on $125,000 vehicles. Here's your pricing. And yet they're selling these things as fast as they can get them. Let's go over to this. I want to show you another side to look at this. If we go over to Tim Estrell's website at Pickup Truck Talk Plus SUV, he talks about Q4 numbers here. And this shows us a really interesting picture here. Let's look at the Q4 pickup truck sales. Year over year sales. The Ford F-Series was up 8%. But check this out, quarterly. A quarterly drop of 3%. That's interesting, right? Because if we look across this segment, not many else other than the Ram heavy duty are being impacted. Look at Ram heavy duty over year. They went down 8.7%, but their light duty went up. Now let's think about this. Where's the Ram light duty made? Michigan. Where's the Ram heavy duty made? Mexico. So the trucks across south of the border are being impacted a little bit more. But it's not that simple because GM is also impacted by the same thing because they make some of their light duty vehicles down in Mexico, but yet they're still showing price volume increases. So what vehicles were really the standouts? Well, the standout is a Silverado heavy duty made in Flint, Michigan. But look at this, guys. This is why it's important. Let's look at Q4 sales. This is the end of the year. Their sales numbers went down. The F-Series went down. The Toyota Tundra went down and the Ram heavy duty went down. Ram really took the biggest beating in the heavy duty segment. Ford is still doing pretty well on their F-Series as far as light duty and heavy duty. You can kind of see that. The other one that was really shocker to me was the Tundra. Tundra sales were down quite a bit in the Q4. I mean, that's a big reduction. Nissan Titan, no surprise with everything they've got going on there. That's interesting. Okay, now look at the Ram truck sales. 23% increase in Q4. What happened in Q4? The release of the Hemi coming out. We knew we were going to get a big bump in this for Ram trucks, and this is exactly what we're seeing. And look where the year ended up. Ram tied the GM heavy-duty trucks. Actually, no, sorry. The Chevrolet Silverado HD got first place for growth year over year, followed by the GMC Sierra heavy duty, and then followed in the half-ton truck segment by the Ram light duty. And then you got the F-Series, which is all combined into one. So it's interesting, but there's more to it than this. This is the nuances. We want to break this down. Now, here's the other big number that just blew me away. Check out these numbers on the Tacoma and the Ranger. Tacoma sales were up 42% 2% year over year. How is that possible? I thought nobody wants this new Tacoma because it's a hybrid platform, yet it grew 42% in 1 year. What about the Ranger? The Ranger does not have a hybrid powertrain, but its sales grew 53%. I think what's wild to me, even though it grew 50%, Toyota dominates in this area. I mean, Ford would have to grow their sales literally 400% to compete with the Tacoma. But you can still see, look at the gap between first and second place, this Ranger versus Tacoma. But how does this work, right? All the lot rot talk and everybody's saying that the Tacoma, no one's buying them. According to these numbers, no one can even come close to Toyota's sales. In full fairness, though, guys, we kind of want a little bit of rot lot because if we, I hate to even use that term because it's so overplayed. I'm just going to say an increase in supply. It's going to be good for any consumer because as the inventory days increase, we're going to see more discounts. But when I see stuff like this, 42% 1 year, 53% 1 year, but the entire compact truck sales market, how do we expect to see price reductions? I mean, the big hitters, well, where we're going to see price reductions right here. The Rivian R1T down 18%. The Ford Lightning down 18%. That's huge losses. And what is driven by this? The reduction of the $7,500 federal rebate hit hard in Q4. And you could see Ford took a big reduction. Rivian took a big reduction. Tesla Cybertruck took a big reduction. The GMC Hummer and Sierra, but still wildly enough, the Silverado EV and the Hummer EV still saw growth from 2024 to 2025. With that all being said, guys, I mean, these numbers are tiny. If you added up all of the truck sales in 1 year for every single brand combined, would you have 140,000? That's like half of the sales of a Tacoma. So their sales volume is still really low on pickup trucks. Now, here's where we're going to start seeing an interesting thing. If we look over on Bob Maxey's website, here is a Ford dealer we work with and do a lot of videos with. I want to show you guys, they've got 58 Super Duties in stock right now, which is on the higher side, definitely. But look at where we're seeing a lot of the numbers right now. XLT, XL, XLT, 3 Platinums, 1 King Ranch, 1 Platinum, another Platinum, a handful of Lariats. Look at 450s across the board. They've got 6 450s and only 2 of them are higher trim levels. Why is this important? Right here. If you're a buyer and you want to buy a new Ford Super Duty right now, what are the discounts? The discounts are on the lower trim level. XL, and I'm going to show you guys XLT, a $2,500 rebate. That's it, guys. $2,500 unless you qualify for like A plan or Z plan or X plan. You had a family member that worked for Ford, retired, or a friend that works there. Other than that, it's just what will a dealer do? But the manufacturer is only offering a $2,500 rebate on the 250s and 350s. And that, from what I've seen, is across the board. 250, 350, 450, single rear wheel, dual rear wheel, but it's only XL and XLTs. Look at this on Lariat. Contact your local dealer for current retail offers. There's no rebate. Now we go back to 450, XLT 2,500. I can go across this, guys. Nothing on a King Ranch, nothing on a Platinum, nothing on a Lariat. That's it. Why is this important? I'm trying to paint a picture for you guys. What is moving the market? If we saw sales numbers went up for volume in 2025 versus 2024, total automotive industry sales numbers, what drove the growth? I'm going to tell you what drove the growth. Premium and full-size vehicles that are status expensive vehicles. Look at these numbers here. This should tell you the story right now. If no one's buying XL and XLT work trucks that have high value and provide there for construction and for agriculture and farming and ranching, but yet they're buying this stuff. Look at these numbers, guys. Year over year, 12.5% growth in one segment. The Tahoe sales went up 19%, Suburban 39%, Expedition 14%, Yukon 16%. Wagoneer took it hard. 19% down. Sequoia to Toyota. How is Toyota's sales down? 4%. Armada was up 1.6%. If we look at the volume of sales sold between a Sequoia and an Armada, I mean, it's super, super small volume. But the Grand Wagoneer is not even included in this. And if you want to try to go find a leftover 2025 Grand Wagoneer across the United States, from what I've seen so far, there's about 50 brand new Grand Wagoneers available across the country. There's none of them available. Wagoneers, yes, there are some, but the Wagoneer has been replaced and it's not available in 2026. It's absorbed into the Grand Wagoneer. Why is this important? If I see a segment, the most expensive full-size vehicles available, and their sales numbers are up 12% in 1 year, and these vehicles provide the least amount of utility purpose, you can't go and tow a fifth wheel or a hot shot trailer or agriculture equipment, farming equipment, ranching equipment, logging equipment. Who's buying these vehicles, guys? That's what we got to ask yourself. You know who's buying these vehicles? These people right here. People are buying ZR1Xs and Suburbans and Yukons and Escalades and Super Duty Platinums and Lariats. It's all the same people. So even though we saw numbers that looked like decent growth from 24 to 2025, we're not seeing the entire market going up. We're starting to see the bell curve of vehicles sold more to the premium side, and the vehicles that are lower cost, higher value, your XL, XLTs, your tradesmen's, they're not selling as much. So this is more of your working class vehicle and your, higher end vehicles. People are buying more of these. So I share this with you guys because if you're a buyer right now and you're wanting to buy a Platinum Super Duty, I don't think you've got as much leverage to buy one of these vehicles because there's not a ton of them out there and there's no rebates on them right now. If you're going to go be buying a new Escalade, any full-size SUV, there's no discounts on a new Suburban, new Tahoe, new Escalades, new Navigator. Navigator might have a little bit. There's not much out there for these $100,000 plus vehicles. But if we go over to Mark Dodge right now and we look at just some of their discounts, here's just proof rise. Here's a tradesman Ram 1500 right now, MSRP $56,000. And right now they're marked down about $8,000, from 56 to 48,000. You're getting $8,000 off. That's what, 10, 15%. Here's another one right here. Here's a limited, and this thing's marked down 20%. 20%. That's quite a good savings. It's still $72,000, no question about it. But this is one of the most expensive Ram 1500s you can buy. So unfortunately, guys, with what we're seeing and how the year ended, I'm not seeing deals available on a lot of these highly desirable vehicles like your expensive GMCs, your full-size SUVs, your ZR1Xs, your Tahoe, Suburbans, Expeditions, Platinums. Ain't gonna happen. But for you people trying to maximize your dollar, and you want to get an STX, XLT, or you're wanting to get maybe a Tradesman, Black Express, some of the lower SR5 Toyota platforms, the leverage is going to start shifting in your favor. And I'm hoping what we're going to see is for people wanting to trade in, maybe the prices are going to go up. There's a weird market right now, guys, and you can tell premium, gotta have it market is still growing, and I'm not seeing a slowdown in that area. Hey guys, I hope you found this video helpful so you can choose how you want to use your money. Do your homework so you can maximize. Start watching inventory. And guys, by the way, if you're interested, the swag and merch is available. I've got a link down below. Check it out. Love to get your feedback and what you guys think of this video and our new merch. Thanks for watching.